fantastic. So hello everybody, this is DKG's Avos. We're doing some Wi-Fi battling today. We got a couple new additions to the team, as you can see right above. I've got them added in. Alright, so Greninja. The fact that Greninja's coming out here straight away, I've seen a couple set up Greninjas. I don't know if this is one of them, but it's what I have to assume based on the fact that it's coming out first. So the setup Greninjas, they do have access to like spikes and substitute. It's an interesting idea. I don't know how well it's going to work in the actual metagame, but I do like the fact that somebody is using Greninja for something other than just a special attack sweeper. I think it's pretty fun. Unfortunately, when you get matched up against a Klefki, not a whole lot you're going to be able to do to it, so yeah. Scald might help out a little bit if he gets the burn off, but even then, it probably won't do that much. Popping the air balloon sucks for me, but you know what? It is what it is. With that, though, Scald did a decent chunk of damage, so I really don't want to keep him in. And we'll try and switch into something else that might be able to resist most of the things that Greninja's got going on. So most of the things that Greninja might pull out, we've already seen Scald. Scald didn't burn on Klefki. There is still a 30% chance that it's going to burn. So if he goes for Scald again, if we get burn on our Azumarill, it kind of sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. But Greninja is paralyzed. This is clearly a special attack sweeper. Greninja, in my opinion, is definitely a late-game sweeper because he's so fast and does a decent chunk of damage, and the fact that he's got coverage for days. Every move is a stab move on a Protean Greninja, but the problem with Greninja is that he's made of glass, so you don't really want to bring him in that often. You want to keep him pretty sheltered. You want to play with him the same way that you would play with a Gengar. Gengar is really fragile. Gengar has coverage for days. Alakazam, same thing. Really fragile. Really fast. A lot of power. Fragile. Fragile, fragile, fragile. Breaks like glass. All those Pokemon are really good late game sweepers. Coverage for days. Almost identical. Alright, so now with Metang. Metang. Paralysis doesn't seem like it'll really do that much. It's more defensive bulky than anything else. So I'd really like to switch in something that's going to do some sort of special attack damage. But Metang is also really slow. We're going to take a risk. We're going to take a risk. And it doesn't look like the risk is going to pay off. Thankfully, Zen Headbutt did flinch. I was going for Belly Drum. I was thinking that we were going to... Oh, it's a Azumarill, though. Azumarill's stupid slow. Think about it, Avos. Alright, so with Zen Headbutt, though, this is a Psychic Steel Pokemon. Do keep that in mind. So, with the Psychic being out and about, Zen Headbutt is one of the few physically damaging Psychic moves out there. The other one that I can think of off the top of my head would be Psyshock. Even though it's based on the special attack stat, it is still a physically damaging move. So now with Metagross being out here, I called him Metang earlier, didn't I? Didn't I call him Metang? I probably did. Whatever. Metagross. Metagross comes out here. Doing a decent chunk of damage. We're going to try and set him up a little bit. I almost wonder if that's Choice Scarfed. Just based on the amount of speed that it had, Metagross shouldn't be that fast. Even though it's an Azumarill, I almost wonder if it's Choice Scarfed. He's using the same move over and over. I don't want to lose Klefki. It's not a thing I want. So we're going to go into something else. We're going to take a send headbutt straight to the face on Trevenant. Oh no, definitely not Choice Scarf now. But Trevenant should be able to resist most of the things that our Metagross is going to throw out at us. And we're going to try something out. We're going to try it. That's so weird. How is Trevenant outspeeding Metagross and Azumarill didn't? Oh, paralyzed. It's paralyzed now. That's why. Dummy. Alright, so Phantom Force is going to probably force this Metagross to switch out. I don't imagine that Metagross is going to stay in against Phantom Force. It's a stab, super effective move. I was hoping that we were going to force a switch into something else, but I don't think much wants to switch in on that either. Unless you've got a normal type that you're going to be able to resist. Probably not. Maybe not. Super good. I love apple cider. Apple cider is so good. Alright, Hydreigon. Hydreigon's got Levitate. Dragon Dark Pokemon. The weird thing about Hydreigon is that having that Dark typing didn't make it more of a liability in Gen 5, but it didn't help out the Dragon typing at all. So you gain no extra resistances for having the Dark and Dragon together. It just didn't help you out at all. He should have Flamethrower. But it looks like he's going to switch out. So it looks like it was going to be kind of a switch to see what we were going to be up to. And the answer is that we're switching ourselves. So now we've got Nidoking out. Nidoking is a Poison-type Pokemon. Fairy types are weak to Poison-type moves. And I'm trying to remember that Metagross is gone. Think Avos. Was there another Steel Pokemon on this team? Was there another Steel Pokemon on this team? If I go for a Sludge Bomb, Azumarill is dead. Thunderbolt, Azumarill might survive. I know we've got Life Orb, I know we've got Sheer Force, but T-Bolt, he might still survive. I was thinking there might be a third switch in, but I wasn't sure. I was not sure about that. I'm really happy with this Nidoking. Normally that Intimidate would really kind of affect me, but we're okay with it. This should Mega Evolve. There it is. So it should Mega Evolve, making it now a Water Dark Pokemon. I went for the T-Bolt anyway. And now he's going for DD with Mold Breaker. I don't know if that's going to break Sheer Force. I guess we'll find out. If we take Life Orb damage, it broke. Nope. Okay, we're good. Alright, so what is he going to have? He might have Ice Fang, which would suck. I'm really worried about that thing. I am legitimately worried that that might sweep the entire team with DD up. So I went into Klefki as a little bit of death fodder. I didn't think he was going to survive it, but I also expected an Ice Fang to come out. So I need something. Ice Fang. I'm worried about Ice Fang. Really worried about Ice Fang. So if I could live long enough to go for U-turn, that would be a viable option. But with DD up, that's not a viable option. So now I basically have to sacrifice 3 Pokemon just to take out one Gyarados because DD got up. Or at least two. Alright, two. It'll be two Pokemon, because Aqua Jet should finish this off. We had to send in Death Fodder so that we could get Diggersby in to do some sort of damage with Quick Attack. And then we had to switch Azumarill in to finish it off with Aqua Jet, because DD Gyarados is something to be reckoned with. It's a force. It's tough. That Stab Waterfall does damage. A lot of damage. Alright, now with Hydreigon, I'm not sure what Hydreigon's packing. I could go for the Stab Aqua Jet, but I'm not going to switch it out. Dragon Rush is a Dragon move. Maryland did get the Fairy typing in Gen 6, so I feel like that was a misclick. And that misclick did cost Hydreigon its life. Unfortunate. Hydreigon's a really interesting Pokemon. I love it. Alright, so, Gengar. Sounded like a shiny. But yeah, no, I absolutely 100% did not want that DD'd Gyarados to come in there and do tons and tons of damage. Alright, so we've got our own Gengar. Timid nature. Could do something. We've got Trevenant, which is not going to survive against a Gengar. You can see there's not a whole lot of difference between the shiny Gengar and the regular Gengar. Alright. Speed tie. And we win. We win the speed tie! RNG! Thank you, RNG! It's a coin flip. If that's a modest Gengar, then we win the speed every time. But if that's a timid Gengar, which most Gengar are, then it's just a coin flip.